Hi there, welcome to my professional project presentation. The project is titled Addressing Disruptive and Aggressive Tendencies in Elementary Education, Effective Behavioral Interventions for Students. My name is Sydney LaMont. I am a first grade teacher for the Dallas School District. I work at Lyle Elementary School, so primarily my project is based there with first graders. I feel very excited to be finally presenting this professional project. It's awesome, and it's crazy to look back at the journey and how far that I have come, and for all the help and support that my professors have given me, and that you, my committee members, have given me as well. I truly appreciate it. I feel really proud of what I've accomplished and very thankful for the opportunity that I have here to do this today. Throughout this presentation, you will hear me discuss the interventions that I have implemented for this professional project. I will be discussing my process in implementation and the reasons behind it all. The outline for my presentation today is as follows. I will be discussing my project rationale. I'll be discussing my literature review, my methodology and process, and my project findings. So coming in this year as a fairly new teacher, I was really intimidated by some of the behaviors that sat before me. I was seeing very low social skills. Students were picking on one another, bullying, and were very disrespectful and disruptive in general. I really felt that the COVID-19 pandemic really affected students as they had high amounts of screen time, they missed a preschool opportunity, therefore a big amount of socialization. Students were forced to rely more on their families for their education in a lower resource environment. I felt like it was time for me to implement some strategies for these students or some interventions. That this was a high needs classroom and first grade year in general. Um, I did want to talk about how my project relates to the MS Education learning outcomes. It did give me an opportunity to find and use current research using technology and databases through the Hammersley Library, which I was grateful for this project. Throughout this project, I'm able to apply the research I have found to create behavioral interventions based on advanced content knowledge throughout my courses at Western Oregon University. I felt as though there was a large need for research in this category based on the things that I was hearing from other teachers and things I was seeing in my own classroom. I felt like it was just very much a needed um, bit of research for the education community, at least for this time right now. Big ideas or themes that emerged in my research included characters that were involved in the intervention programs like parents and teachers. I also was able to gain background on the causes of behavior in students and the factors that play there. As I knew I wanted to create an intervention program of my own, I knew it would be important for me to research different elements that were commonly involved and effective in these studies. Within my literature review, there were some programs and interventions and strategies that proved to be effective for students in elementary schools, like Brain Breaks, Fast Track, PBIS, the Seattle Social Development Project, Daily Report Cards, Dependent Group Contingency, Paths, the Good Behavior Game, etc. I looked more deeply into these programs and evaluated how parents and teachers were both involved in each. Within my research, I felt there was a gap in personalized interventions for students struggling with aggressive, disruptive behavior. I knew from experience that this would be a critical piece of research for the education community. My professional project looks towards filling this gap within the personal break schedule and daily report cards. I also felt that there was a lack of research on implementing brain breaks outside of the classroom, which was a main proponent in creating the personal break schedule. For my methods and the process of my interventions and project, I implemented 3 interventions: daily report cards, the personal break schedule, and the dependent group contingency. I was able to implement with various students in my classroom that struggled with disruptive behavior, had a high number of high needs kids. The daily report card is where students begin the morning with a check-in where their mentor reminds them of their goals for the day. Students will take their schedule with them throughout the day, where they are rated based on their performance with a scale of 0 to 2. At the end of the day, students will debrief with me and then go to the Lion's Den, which is the Tier 2 room, to count up points, gain words of encouragement or praise, and be reminded of their goals. At the end of the week, students' points are tallied, and if they have enough, they earn a prize. So Kelly was one of my main focal students for this intervention. The personal break schedule was an intervention that I created with the Tier 3 behavior team, and it is a schedule of their day. Each section is blocked out on that folder that you see there on the screen. Students will receive signatures for each section of the day. They will also take regular breaks on their schedule. Their last break will be their check-in with the behavior staff, where they will talk about the day and how it went. They also receive pennies based on how the day went, 1 penny per signature. The students may go shopping once a week and buy something at the store in the behavior room with the pennies that they earned. Now, my focal student for this intervention was Ryder. The dependent group contingency. One that I used with my whole class was the dependent group contingency, where I could tell them there was going to be a mystery person who I will be watching during their work time. I would pick a student that the class doesn't know about. Then if the student is working hard and following directions, they are rewarded at the end. If the student has done a good job, I tell the class who it was. They also get to have a buddy at their desk, little Pokemon buddy. They get a Roars ticket for the whole class, and they get pom-poms for their table groups, as you can see in the photo. The pom-poms help us earn points towards a class party. The Roars tickets I draw every Friday for a reward or prize. My findings and more about my project. With the daily report card, Kelly, one of my focal students who was on the daily report card, she exhibited some growth. At the beginning of the year, it's crazy to see the difference, but at the beginning of the year, she was running out of the room daily without permission when something didn't go her way. She was constantly hurting other students. That was her way of communicating, was physical rather than verbal. She has now learned strategies and techniques to stop herself from acting out of anger or frustration, and rarely does she run out of the room without permission. The daily report card is not for everyone, though. Some students it was hard for were those who struggled more with accountability. And when I would debrief with them, they would deny that they, deserved that 0 or that 1, and would be very upset with me. The personal break schedule. I had students who showed significant improvements with the personalized break schedule, especially when they were motivated by the prizes or the rewards. There were times where they would let me know they didn't care about getting any signatures from teachers. For one student in particular, at the beginning of the year, he was jumping from table to table. He was running out of the room without permission. He was threatening other students and bullying others. Now he follows his schedule, looking forward to the breaks he has outside of the classroom, and is proud of the work he completes in class because he knows he will get a signature from me when he participates. Ryder was my other focal student for this um, intervention, and he has not shown as much growth as I would like, but there are certainly days where I can see he is putting in an effort, and he receives signatures from me and other staff. The dependent group contingency has been fun and has helped to create a more positive environment in the classroom. The students thoroughly enjoy hearing about the mystery person. Some students try very hard each day when it's announced, while others are either unaware or do not care because it's unmotivating to them. Overall, I have seen students work harder and stay more on task because of this intervention. I would say all three of these interventions have helped me develop relationships with my students and have helped students develop strategies in their own behavior management. Moving on to my reflection of this professional project, I feel that this professional project has given me the opportunity for the close evaluation of students' behaviors and interventions that led to valuable insights for me in my classroom. Often you don't have those opportunities, so I'm excited and grateful that I had that this year. I feel I have learned that flexibility and adaptability were essential in adjusting interventions and goals for my students. I have discovered students' motivations, that they play a key role in promoting behavior change. If students aren't motivated by something, they will not do it or participate in that task. I have overcome challenges and hard days, and all of that contributes to overall success. I feel I have built confidence and overcome the feeling of intimidation and feeling of being ill-equipped to handle these things. And I've become a better classroom manager that I feel that I've embraced the mindset of trying new strategies and learning from my failures. And I've recognized the uniqueness of each student and the importance of personalized approaches. I would like to do further research, especially on motivation, and I know that a lot of my interventions this year were extrinsically motivating and giving students those rewards. I know that those are temporary. I'd like to do more research on helping students be intrinsically motivated to have a desire to achieve their own goals. In the future, I'd like to do more social emotional learning with within the universal scope in my whole class. There was a lot of research that I found based on that topic as well. I'm feeling grateful during this time. I feel that this professional project has given me the opportunity to truly evaluate and research something that matters a lot to teachers in the current climate, and I'm really glad for the opportunity. I'm really proud of my students during this time, looking back towards the beginning of the year and evaluating their growth. I just can't believe how far that they've come, and it's really quite a whirlwind to look back and think how far they really have come. And this is the end of my presentation. Like I said, I feel I have learned so much about behaviors, their causes, my own students. I've learned about myself and the power of trying new things and persevering through that. I hope to always continue to research and implement new strategies throughout my career, and again, just feel very thankful to have had this opportunity to learn and to strengthen my classroom management skills and knowledge. Thank you guys so much for the time and effort you've put into evaluating and watching this presentation. I truly appreciate you.